and welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's happening in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris, and later in the show, we're looking back with Mayor Fiorentini on his 19 years of leadership in Haverhill. But first, after losing her son, Eammon, to a drug overdose in 2019, Haverhill resident Helen Sheehan has worked tirelessly in her son's memory to help those struggling in our community. Helen's organization, EAMMON'S HEART, has built a strong presence in the Haverhill area with several projects underway, including a series of free community Narcan training sessions, a speaker series, and the Freedom Illumination Project, which has repaired or replaced and illuminated over 30 local flagpoles.
Eammons Heart Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit I organized after losing my son to an overdose in 2019. We are raising money to combat this crisis that we have in all different forms, and the first way we'd like to do it is to bring some Narcan training to the community. One of my dreams was to organize a Narcan training program. I want to normalize action. It is totally free, and it's 1 hour of your time. And I think it would be a good thing. It's an honor to try to save another life, to give somebody one more opportunity. When you find a person who needs CPR, we usually just jump right in. Well, I want to do that the same for Narcan training. Rebecca will be doing the training in partnership with Mass General Brigham, and we're so very happy we found them.
Narcan saves lives, and we want to get into as many people's hands as possible to save those lives. It's a drug that helps to reverse the effects of an overdose. And so this is a nasal spray. It's 4 milligrams. You can get it at any local pharmacy. Your primary care physician can write you a prescription, or you can find harm reduction services or programs who give it out for free. So rule of thumb is to administer Narcan to any individual that you find that is unresponsive. There is no harm in administering Narcan to somebody who does not need it, somebody that is not experiencing an overdose. So I would rather give somebody Narcan and potentially save a life than to not give them Narcan at all. It's just like a nasal spray that you use for allergies, very common. You're going to insert this into their nostril and you're just going to squeeze. It's going to spray the Narcan up through their nose, and hopefully it's going to kick off some of the opioids that are sitting on the opioid receptors in the brain. What happens in an overdose is the body stops breathing. It's like a computer system, and it kind of shuts down your body and it says, we aren't working anymore, just go to sleep, and it stops breathing. So if you don't have any Narcan in hand, you can actually save somebody's life just by giving them rescue breaths. So the object is to call 911 as soon as possible to get medical help there. You're going to administer Narcan, you're going to give them rescue breaths, and every 2 to 3 minutes, if they are still unresponsive, you'll give them another dose of Narcan and continue those rescue breaths until paramedics show up.
I think events like these are so critical to educate folks in the community. I learned a thing or two about how to most effectively administer Narcan and the sequence of steps that you want to take.
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect, and I was caught off guard on a lot of it because I just didn't know. It was something I had no idea about. I think Rebecca did a phenomenal job. Some of the analogies she made were amazing.
I have Narcan in my car from a previous Narcan training I went to. It's something that, it's always good to have on your person, and now we're gonna take one to our office in the State House, so we always have one there, and I'm gonna always carry one on my person. So I'd like to thank Helen. I mean, this was fantastic.
This is my first time to handle this. I've never experienced this, and I've never experienced even someone overdosing, and I've read stories. But being here alone and seeing it with my own eyes and experiencing and learning, I'm so glad I came.
So one of the barriers that folks have with substance use disorders is finding an organization that can help. And so here at the Merrimack Valley Bridge Clinic, we reduce as many barriers as possible. So we accept anyone. You do not need insurance in order to access us. You do not need to be maintaining abstinence. You can still be using substances. We just want to get in front of you and see how we can help support you. The Merrimack Valley Bridge Clinic is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. We do appointments or walk-ins. We're located at 600 Primrose Street, Suite 100, so you come right in the front door. We're right on the left. In addition, we do have the bus route that is right outside, and if transportation is an issue, please call us and we will see what we can do to help you get here.
In getting my name out there and to raise money, I've got a few community projects I'm working on. And I try to channel my son's love and he loved his country and he loved his flag. So I partnered with Keith Gobsill, who's a veteran, Navy, and I partnered with Carl Turner, who's an Army veteran, and my friend and board of director member, Eva Montebello. We've identified 57 flags in the city that need a little bit of work, and we are bringing all of those flags up to U.S. flag code.
I had heard about the Freedom Illumination Project and thought that it was an excellent idea that somebody finally came to a method of illuminating the flags that are up 24 hours a day. 30 years ago, I joined the Navy and became a signalman, which is visual communications between ship-to-ship communication using flashing light, semaphore, and/or flags. Part of the signalman job is to properly display the flags, which brought me to the Freedom Illumination Project here in Haverhill.
Don Jarvis told me about this program, which was Eammons' HEART, and they were installing the flags and restoring them. And I told him I'd be interested in doing it. When you put the flag up, you're supposed to put it up in the morning and then take it down at sunset. But if you leave the flag up, it's supposed to be illuminated. And that's what this project's about. We're putting solar-powered lights on top of the flags to keep them illuminated at night and showing the respect that they deserve. A lot of times the flags are beat up or the mechanisms are broken, so we repair them as well.
So we purchased several different versions of solar lights. We've installed on approximately 30 different flagpoles around the city. We've got a lot more to go, a lot more to do.
Helen's doing a lot for the community with Eammons' HEART. She coordinates it with Eva Montebello, and they do a lot of work in the background, getting the funding, and also they do the work with us.
These guys are the muscle. I do a lot of talking, and I go before the city council, and I do all the fundraising, but we're nowhere without them. My mission is to connect the community. I want to change the outcome for another family because I can't really change mine. But I have learned a lot, and I want to bring that. I want to bring that knowledge to people in hopes that they can change theirs.
Eammons' HEART will be hosting 2 upcoming Narcan training sessions. First, on April 11th at 12:30 p.m. in the C Building at NECC, and again on June 12th at 6 p.m. at Somebody Cares New England. These free 1-hour training sessions include a take-home naloxone kit. Then, an installment of their Heart-to-Heart speaker series with speaker Janet Began of the Wildflower Foundation is happening on April 27th at 12:30 p.m. at NECC. All events are free, but registration is required. You can register at eventbrite.com by searching for Eammons' HEART, by visiting their website at eammonsheart.org and clicking on the Education tab, or by reaching out via the Eammons' HEART Facebook page. Mayor James Fiorentini, Haverhill's longest-serving mayor with a record 19 years in office, announced last month that he will not be running for re-election this fall. Mayor Fiorentini, who has overseen countless changes and improvements in the city over the past 2 decades, sat down with us before his final State of the City address to reflect on his time as mayor, share his most memorable moments, and talk about what's next.
It is now my honor to introduce the man who has served Haverhill for an historic 10 terms as our mayor, Mayor Jim Fiorentini.
Well, it was 2004. I campaigned in 2003 and took office on January 1st, 2004. Here's what I tell young mayors what being mayor is all about. I said, you think you're ready. At that time, I'd taken a course on executive leadership at Harvard. I read all kinds of books and articles. I went to seminars. I'll be talking about one of them tonight. So we spent a lot of time back then looking for books and articles, going to seminars. Martha, my wife, and thank you for everything, would look for seminars for me to attend, and one day she said, Jim, I found a seminar that's just perfect for a guy like you. It was called Brownfields for Dummies. Absolutely nothing can prepare you for the job of being mayor. It's like you're walking by City Hall, and a giant arm reaches out, grabs you, pulls you in the window, puts you in a chair, and says, you're up. That's what being mayor is like. Some of the things I'm most proud of, building a new hunking school. I'm proud to be the only mayor who has campaigned for and led a successful debt exclusion to build a new school. We're going to break ground on a brand new Constantino school late this year or next year. We've spent $110 million building new schools and fixing old ones. I'm very proud of downtown. When I started, the western end of downtown was all abandoned shoe factories, and thanks to some nice folks at HC Media, we have a great video that we're putting forth about that. And it's all redeveloped and all redone. We had a great team of people that were working on this. When other cities got in trouble, the business community left, the population left. That never happened here. We have a great population, a great business community, and it didn't, what happened in Dayton, Ohio, and Baltimore, Detroit, where people flocked out of the city. It didn't happen here. People did not give up, and they stayed with the city.
So what's next? What do you have planned for post-mayor life?
You know, I'll be 76 in April, so I feel it's time to retire, but I really have mixed feelings about it. I consider myself a mayor for mayors, and mayors do call me once in a while, but I would love to be an advisor to mayors or a consultant. I'd like to be an interim town manager or something like that, but I don't want to work 60 hours a week anymore. Sometimes they get here at 8 or 8:30, and then at 10 o'clock at night they're still here. That can be a little tough. I was a shy kid growing up in Riverside. Growing up, if you'd done a survey of the classes that I was in and asked who was most likely to be mayor, it sure as hell wouldn't have been me. I wouldn't have thought it. Although I always did want to go into politics, I never thought about being mayor. And you've given me that opportunity. You've given me the opportunity for 19 years, about to be 20 years, to have the greatest job in the world. I am beyond appreciative of the people of Haverhill for the chance you've given me. Thank you.
You can watch the mayor's full State of the City address on demand at HC Media's website, haverhillcommunitytv.org. The City of Haverhill is partnering with Beyond Walls to develop and install community-driven murals throughout Haverhill by professional mural artists. Interested in getting involved? Come to a community meeting on Tuesday, April 5th to learn more, ask questions, share ideas, and just get involved. The meeting will be held at 6 p.m. on April 5th at HC Media's Harbor Place location at 2 Merrimack Street on the first floor. The Haverhill Citywide Cleanup will be held on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023, Earth Day. This year's theme is Invest in Our Planet, Start in Haverhill. The event is growing bigger every year. In 2022, over 400 volunteers helped clean up their neighborhoods. You may register for the cleanup at haverhillrec.com. Participants will receive a free Earth Day t-shirt and be entered to win one of 2 children's bikes sponsored by Riverside Cycle. Registered volunteers will meet at the Citizen Center at 8:30 a.m. on April 22nd and proceed to their cleanup locations from there. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org, and don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our HC Media YouTube channel. And that's what's happening in Haverhill this month. We'll be back next month with a new episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.